Hello everyone and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. Today we're in the world of Ciudad and Enamorada, which came with the Lovestruck expansion. So today we're building a apartment complex located on this 30 by 30 lot here. I thought this was a good location for it. It's kind of central in the world. It's surrounded by like a beautiful park and lots of different areas for your Sims to kind of explore and navigate in the world. And originally there's a house here, but I decided that this is a good spot for the apartments, especially this type of apartment building. So I ended up calling them Tough Love apartments. And the reason why I call them Tough Love is because they are rough. They are grungy and dirty, and the rent is very cheap, between 53 and 64 simoleons per day. That's it. So like when you see these apartments, you're going to be like, oh my gosh. But that's the whole point. So the story behind this build is that you will move into the world of Ciudad and Enamorada, and your sim will become the owner of this lot. And then over time, they will invest money into it and improve it and restore it to what it once was. So, you know, cleaning it up a bit, cleaning up the pool in the back, which when you see that, it's like, ooh, yikes. And just restoring the apartments to what they might have been or just their former beauty. So kind of a fun little speed build and maybe a little bit of a challenge, especially when it comes to the living conditions. There are lot challenges, like 2 of the units have the mold challenge. And I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure they're growing more than just mold when you see them. But anyway, in the last video, Armin Lake House, I was talking about the new expansion and I actually called it Love and Death, but that is incorrect. So I apologize for that. It's called Life and Death. I do not know where I got Love and Death from, but it is called Life and Death. I also want to quickly mention that the 2 new kits, Storybook Nursery Kit and Artist Studio Kit, are releasing this Thursday, September 19th, 2024. So if you happen to order them with the EA app, please feel free to use my creator code. Here is how to do that. Very quick, you just kind of enter the code during the checkout process. And it's not a discount code, but it does support me as a creator and gives me a small percentage back on your purchase. However, if you don't want to use the code, that's totally up to you. Like, you don't have to, it's totally optional, but at least use somebody's creator code out there when you're purchasing these new kits. So thank you very much in advance if you do decide to use my code. But back to the speed build. So the exterior at first was actually very clean. And we will grunge that up later, but there are 4 units total in the building, and each are kind of very open plan. There really isn't like a segregated bedroom or anything, and there is a small bathroom with each unit. And I mean very small, like a 2x2, maybe 2x3 tile bathroom. And then the kitchens are also very, very simple, but they're just like the bare minimum. Like you have your sink, your stove, and a refrigerator, and a counter for your Sims to prep meals on, and that is it. Furnishings, you've got metal chairs, a TV in the corner on crates. Like there's like a lot of furniture that is lacking, but like these apartments at one time were maybe very beautiful, but the previous owner kind of just let them kind of fall apart. So, you know, Sims have moved in here and they only have, you know, limited resources and you know, they find furnishings from wherever they can. And so, yeah, they have to live here. But I thought it would be just really cool to kind of restore them over time, like a fun challenge. You know, make them really pretty at some point. But I mean, I'm not going to do that, but that's up to you. This build is available on the Sims 4 gallery. Here is the gallery listing. So go grab it, go have some fun playing it. And again, it's almost like a starter in a way, because you have very cheap, affordable rent. You will need 4 packs for this particular lot. There's Lovestruck, For Rent, and City Living. And I say 4 because The Lovestruck listing has, I think, one of those like digital like pre-order items, like one of those exclusive pre-order items, which I actually know what that is. It's the beds. The beds were part of like that pre-order for Lovestruck. Yeah, they kind of are very, I think it's called a heartbreak bed. I think that's what it was called. But I used that in all 4 of the units. But I thought it was very fitting because, the covers are kind of messy. There's some clothing under the bed. It has the mattress exposed. Like, it is a perfect bed to use for this style of lot. So we have like a beige apartment, a red styled apartment, a like teal green apartment, and then like a more bluish color apartment. So there are a variety of apartments and colors, and some of them are laid out in a slightly different way. I kind of imagine that they would be a little different in their floor plans, which makes them a little bit unique. And you can kind of live in whichever one you feel like living in. Oh, actually, it's a maroon apartment. Though I do feel like I do change that color. Yeah, we do adjust those colors. Yeah, it's like a greenish and then a blue color. Yeah, I was right. I just kind of carried the colors from the first floor at first, but then I'm like, no, let's give each of the apartments their own little personality as much as you really could with the bare minimum and basics. We do swap out that dining table because I felt like that dining table was a bit too fancy. So I found like this one that's, I believe, base game. And it kind of looks like an outdoor table. It's circular, it's round. I thought it looked a little bit better than the square one. And we do change out the curtains that I originally used. I did like use some base game curtains and then size them up on like the front windows there, but I changed them out for these like beaded curtains that came with Lovestruck. I felt that was more fitting and I could kind of match the colors to each of the units, which I thought was pretty cool. There are no like decorative rugs. There's hardly any decorations. A couple of potted plants. I kind of felt like, it's okay to have some potted plants in here, but that's about it. As far as the rating of the units, so interestingly, when you place the lot, it says they're like 3-star units, which I'm like, wow, they're very generous. But when you actually move a sim in, that's when the rating changes, and it's literally like 2 stars, maybe even 1. Like these units are very, very bad. But hey, what can you do? They're meant to be fixed up. They're a fixer-upper renovation style apartment building. So definitely something fun and different. I wanted a bit of a smaller build, but also just something totally outside my comfort zone, which is building kind of grungy, dirty spaces. I really didn't think that I was going to be any good at it, but I kind of feel like this turned out really well. Almost too well. It's kind of like, how did I do this? You know what I mean? Like, I'm actually quite surprised that I was able to pull this off, truthfully, because I don't know. I'm more of like a clean, modern kind of style, clean furnishings and everything. I've never really gone this far and done like a bare minimum kind of challenge or even like a house or an apartment, but definitely a fun thing to do. So yeah, as far as the rest of the apartment building, there is a functional water heater and a functional electrical box. So that means those particular units will give you some trouble as you are playing here, as you might expect with the state of the building. You will have issues with maybe hot water or the electric turning off, but as long as you keep those, objects working, I don't think you'll have a problem. But I don't know. These places really need a lot of cleaning up and a lot of love. So that's why they are called Tough Love. So yeah, I was originally considering like second chance apartments, but then I'm like, I don't know, like you'd give them like a second chance, like before, they knock down this particular building just because of the state of it. But yeah, I thought that the tough love was a bit more fitting because you have mold in 2 of the units as a lot challenge, so that's fun, but that makes gameplay interesting. We are now dirtying up and grunging up the exterior, and it was kind of hard to fit some of the like grunginess areas without them like floating off the walls, but I did leave it in some of the upper floors just because it kind of comes down from the half walls on the roofs. I bet if I made the half walls on the roofs like a bit taller, it probably wouldn't have done that, but it's okay. It's fine. It doesn't have to be perfect because, you know, eventually the grunge would be cleaned off and you wouldn't have that. So this is the pool going in. Very small pool. I did use the rounded corners on the pool. Again, it's very dilapidated and kind of run down back here. I do change the water. Actually, no, that is the water that I keep. It has like leaves and like twigs in it, but I do come back and add some bushes actually growing in the pool. And I think the funniest touch is the pool floaty. Yeah. Yeah. Like a sim is actually going to float in there. Like, yeah. Maybe if the pool is clean, but I mean, you know, sims may use it. They probably will use it because they really don't care, which I think makes it more funny in a way, just to have like a floaty in a dirty pool. Like, gross. I don't know. But yeah, so hopefully there's no garbage in there because there is a dumpster that is nearby as well. I believe that was like a decorative world object. I don't think it has any function, though it does have this functioning like black shadowy flicker underneath. That's I'm just being sarcastic. It's not functional, but there goes the dumpster. Like, it has trash outside it, so you would actually probably put in a like real proper dumpster, and not that if you wanted your sims to go dumpster diving, but without having all the trash all over. So again, this lot is for you to clean up and have fun with. The stones are kind of just all over the place and kind of out of order here. So maybe there would be a nice stone path at some point when it's all fixed up or something. Landscaping could be a little bit more lush and vibrant instead of kind of sparse, like, random flowers growing here and there out of the ground. Like, there's just no gardens whatsoever. But then again, the build itself is surrounded by parks. So do you really need gardens? Maybe, maybe not. But it would be nice to see the building actually fixed up and renovated. So have fun with that. I wish you well. There are a lot of grungy bits scattered everywhere in the build. So hopefully you're able to clean them up and find them all. But yeah, I thought this was just something unique and different to do. We are almost finished. I'm just lighting up the exterior now because I felt it was kind of dark. So we used some base game lights, just some very cheap base game lights, but they casted like this really nice light. And then I changed the light color to be a bit more yellowy, but it lit up the build very nicely. And now we are into the screenshots. So this is the front of the build. And then you have another shot of the front, and then we move around to the side and then the back over the pool. And yeah, I think the pool is just so fun. So yeah, it's just a nice touch because I imagine this building would have been like nice and clean and pristine at one point, and was kind of left to deteriorate. So here are the units. You can see them laid out. That is for rent, working its magic with the rental unit. And then we go into the front door. This is the hallway. You can see the functional water heater and electrical box there, and the trash chute. There is no closet for them, so they're kind of right out in the hallway. You can see the air conditioning units in there. They are from For Rent, and yeah, they're dirty. I don't think there's any clean air coming out of those. I mean, even the bathroom, like, it's just like, oof, bad. But hey, clean it up, have some fun, live in here. It'll be really fun. I promise. It'll be really fun. So yeah, and the rent's really cheap. So what more can you ask for? Like, this is not premium by any means. This is just a grungy place to live. Just start off. And maybe you'll renovate it. Maybe you won't. Maybe it's just too much work. I don't know. This is the landing upstairs to the upper 2 units. So then we have the green unit here. I don't know. I think I kind of like this one just a little bit more. Not that there's like really anything different between the units, but I just like this color more, I think. Definitely shows off more of the grunge a bit better, and it just feels a bit more dated and older. Same thing with the blue one. Kind of has the same thing as the green as well. So I don't know. This is probably my favorite shot there. And yeah, you can see the basic TV as well. But that is all I had for this speed build. I do thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.